All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome on back here on our Monday afternoon here, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Welcome on back for our afternoon meeting. Let's get a quick sound check just to begin. Make sure everyone can hear me loud and clear. Not bad for a Monday, I would say. Great to see Jerry cleaning up on Tesla and picked up a $5 bill on that trade. He was in from 485. Nice job from Jerry. Great to see everybody, though. Pat, Bonnie, Greg, Lori, Mark, Dale, Matthew, and Kathy. Great to see you all. Chelsea as well at the end there. And as always, welcome aboard for all of us tuning in on social media, Facebook Live and YouTube. So let's hop into it, folks. We ended up seeing NEO just explode shortly after the market opened up yet once again. You know what? I want to jump to NEO just in a bit. I want to start off actually on a stock that was on our morning watch list, a stock that was on the pre-market watch list, a stock that will probably be on the afternoon watch list, WKHS. So I'm going to copy and paste the news here just to begin. This is a stock that, we've been following obviously alongside NEO, and even before NEO was breaking all-time highs. I mean, WKHS was one of the first, EV stocks otherwise that started moving about like a month and a half, 2 months ago. So we ended up seeing Workhorse come out with news after 8 o'clock this morning. Workhorse announces Hitachi will review its operations and provide recommendations to support increased production. This comes off a bad report at the end of last week, more or less. So there was a bad report at the end of last week. We noted that here in this meeting on WKHS. We ended up seeing something about their vehicle safety measures, maybe. I think it was that's what it was in relation about. It was pretty much right here, a couple days back, big drop. But hey, I mean, nice pop in pre-market this morning. Didn't mean that it was going to make this type of roll on the way up today. But, with NEO pushing up, with Tesla being a monster once again today, I mean, Workhorse in the EV market, perhaps also a proponent of a strong market once again today. The SPY, after a sharp dip, ended up picking right back up, a full recovery. And I mean, for what it's worth, kind of pulling back right now. But hey, Workhorse, after the open, we ended up seeing this thing pull back down to 17, bounced from around that 17 level, moved up perfectly from there. We'll be talking about this trade likely, guys, in our workshop tomorrow for all of us here inside the trading room, that being Traders Talk. For anyone tuning in on social media, feel more than free to join us live tomorrow inside our trading room for that. But, hey, bounced from 17, broke above its opening bell print 17.17. Ended up pushing up perfectly to its high of the day in 1893. Obviously, as I just said before, this thing's pushing back up to those highs right now. And as I say that, and as I had said, the market perhaps pulling back a little bit here. Workhorse dropping off right now from 1850. So I mean, hey, we're gonna put this stock on our list going into the close. Just very active stock, moving up pretty nicely, at least across the afternoon. Also shortable. If it ends up dropping back down, I ended up taking a small short on this trade today. I mean, I did really well on the way up. I got in from 1705 on 2 attempts. I wasted my first trade on the profit side of things, but then I jumped back in after and ran it up. I ended up taking a short. It is shortable. If it craps out the other way like it is starting to right now, perhaps we could ride this back down. But yeah, Workhorse, right away we'll put this on our list. Right away we'll jump back to NEO, though. NEO, of course, took off after the open as well. So, NEO, much like Workhorse, they're around the same price, or they were at least upon the market opening up. It was pretty weird calling both of them out at 18 or both of them out at 1750 when they were making the same move. But NEO ended up, breaking out shortly after the open. It was down big, at least from pre-market trading, about 4 or 5%. If you scroll back on the pre-market chart here for a NEO, it looks like a full market day. If you were to see this just dropping and just the activity on the chart here, it looks like just a full market day here from 4 to 9:30. But obviously with that in mind, after the open, squeeze up and, breaking higher at least, or just before it did, broke over 19. And also here, I'll just look back on my level 4 here book map. There was 2 big iceberg orders that it just broke over 19 and then 1910, I think. Oh, no. 1906. 19 and 1906, 2 big iceberg order levels that NEO ripped through just before. So I would assume 19 is going to be the base here for right now, but 1906 we'll also keep in mind here. I'll just keep it there. All right. So again, NEO, much like WKHS, how can we not put the stock on our list heading into the afternoon? So with those two, I mean, already a strong start. I mean, these were the 2 I was initially focused on leading into the open. I kind of figured today wouldn't provide us as much opportunity as it really did. With that in mind, I wanted to focus on the side list stocks. I was watching WKHS well before the 8 o'clock pop. So, I was just intending on trading those 2, and thankfully those were the 2 better movers across the day. Aside from those two, though, we did pretty well otherwise, guys. I mean, there was a stock from this morning on the pre-market watch list, GameStop, GME. It was kind of slumping off after we put it on the pre-market list, but after the open, much like NEO, WKHS. I mean, so many stocks broke out after the open today, but ended up lifting off from 580 up towards just about 680, full dollar move up. Obviously, right now, with this breaking higher, same thing. We'll just put this back on our list. Man, very strong start here, folks. All right, cool. And then Jose also just called out here inside the trading room. I'm just jumping to the chat board right now. Jose just said VVPR moving, a stock from Friday that we did pretty well on. And then another member on YouTube right now, Trading PC Solution, asking the same thing. Yeah, I mean, nice volume breakout from 8 all the way up to 10. And then pulling back sharply right now. I mean, definitely, we're going to put this on our list. Contrary to the first three, and even NEO is pretty volatile, but contrary to these three, I would say that, VVPR, bigger spread, lighter order book, definitely a more, unbridled, chaotic stock, perhaps. So nice steady trend, nice pop for right now, but I'd expect it to only start getting more messy over time. All right, cool. So, guys, even with VVPR, though, I mean, a really strong start to this afternoon watch list. I guess what we'll just do now is go from top to bottom. A couple of others I wanted to jump to quickly here, folks. AIMT and AKCA, two buyouts. You see the flat line here pretty much on the 1 minute chart. We're going to skip over those. They were on the pre-market list, but I mean, after the open, they didn't really provide much opportunity after that. PSV, nice push up after the open. Looks like the stock got halted a couple of times on the way up, on the way down, then back on the way up here once more, pushing up towards and holding that 150, and then just now breaking down a bit here. This thing's had a funky looking few days here on the daily chart. Day over day running up, but day over day, a pump and dump. Hasn't completely dumped back down yet today, but if you're looking close on the 1 minute or on the daily chart, the last 2 days, pump and dump on Thursday, pump and dump on Friday. So, I mean, it ran back up today. Hopefully it just makes this big pop. I mean, hopefully this thing ends up moving pretty nicely, but kind of skip over it for right now. GNW, kind of a bust from earlier on this morning. If anything, it was better on the short side, guys. I mean, I say it all the time, but for anyone that's new or for anyone that's kind of like questioning, like, why does he always say that? Saying if a stock craps out the other way or, hey, we looked to short a stock after it ended up making a big move up. It's not to say that every stock ends up kind of holding near the highs and running up higher into the close. And it's not to say that every stock completely dumps back down to where it had opened up. But if there's a stock like GNW here that is shortable, if it doesn't break out shortly after the open, and more so if it dumps off, it could be a good short opportunity at the time. It was earlier today, flattened out quite a bit. Probably not going to put this on our list for this afternoon. Maybe a good stock to keep in mind for the remainder of the week, though. Nice level 1 trade, perhaps. All right, auto is near the highs. Not really a level 1 stock, but some volume on the S near the high of the day, 560, 559, 560 there. Oh, and with that, obviously looking on time and sales, 545, 20K print, and then just, an iceberg that just got filled right now at 550. So this will be pretty interesting, this auto trade. Alrighty. Here, guys, really quick for all of us on at least social media, you guys in the trading room, I don't think this is affecting you guys, but I just got a ping that I'm hearing an echo. Let me just reset my audio. Give me about like 5 or 10 seconds across the board. I'll jump back on in just a second. All right, test 1 2 1 2. Should be good. Good. Yep, I'm good. All right, perfect. All right, so auto. I mean, yeah, easily we're going to see if this will break out over the 550 once more and ultimately the 560 high. All right, cool. So auto looking pretty decent as well. We'll keep it going here, folks. CNET here. We called it out shortly after the market opened up. Moved up pretty nicely from where we had called it out, but died off pretty quickly. All right, UAV. Ooh, look at this. UAVS. Nice push up here. We were watching this in pre-market, shortly after 9 o'clock when Fausto started the meeting. It ended up making a big pop. I was watching this aside from those other two, Workhorse and Neo, leading into the open. Unfortunately, though, this just, broke down, and that was it. I'm up until now, obviously. So very strong run on this UAVS right now, folks. 20K seller on the ask at 299, and then probably a big one up ahead at 3. You never know what you're going to catch here during this meeting. All right, well, you know what? Let's just keep our eye on this perhaps for the next 30 seconds. We'll use Fausto's 30-second rule just to see if this can make a pop over 3. Big volume spike just within the last minute or two, probably breaking over a lot of volume at 285, 290. Yeah, 290. A lot of yellow there. I know the second I turn away from this stock, it's going to blast over 3. But, yeah, I guess for right now, 299. Come on. Just a penny away. Got a lot of folks watching this. I'm telling you, the second I step away from this thing, it's going to snap over 3. I just want to see what's on the ask at 3 here. Right now, there's only 7,000 shares, but there could be a lot more aside from what's there at 3. All right, we're going to move on. It's going to break over 3 the second I move away from this trade. Let's look at Kirkland, KIRK. Hey, you know what? Fine. I'll take it. You know what? UAVS can get lost. We'll stick with this Kirk trade. This thing's moving a lot better. So Kirkland's moving back up. Very nice run once again on Kirk. Yeah, looking just as good, obviously, if not better. Let's go back to UAVS. Break 3 yet? Almost. All right, so both obviously looking pretty good. I'd say Kirk's a little bit more volatile. There we go. 106,000 share order on the ask at 3. All right. Whew, paid off. I would have looked a little foolish if it was only 7,000 shares still. But look, not even just through the NASDAQ, you could see through the Edge X, 59K, and it just broke it. Big old pop right over 3. All right, cool. I'm just looking on YouTube chat right now. So from Doug, once again, welcome back, Doug, saying Kirkland. Yep, right there, Doug. Great minds think alike. ANY, does this want to make another run back up? I think we have a good enough list to avoid this one for right now. Trill, TRIL, kind of spotty chart, not a whole lot going on there. It's kind of near the highs, but for right now, I'll pass. TSLA, Tesla, obviously, not to be confused with TLSA, which is like a small cap cheapie. So whereas we were saying Neo, WKHS, a lot of stocks moving up today with the market, Tesla just continuing to squeeze higher. All right, so yeah, let me hop over to the losers list here, guys. If there's anything else that's looking good that's up, 5-10% or more, just let me know. Usually we don't find a whole lot on the loser side, but it's always worth checking to see if there's any stocks that are shortable, not hard to borrow. I mean, hey, ODT is dropping back down again, but I mean, again, we have a really good list. I'd rather focus on something that has a lot more liquidity than just a few hundred shares here and there on the bid and the ask. OSTK, pretty active stock, a little pricey, but I would say if you tend to trade the more expensive ones from earlier on this morning, big drop off, but ended up pushing back up pretty nicely. OSTK. All right, Pat, you picked up 18 cents on UAVS. You got in right from 301. Excellent job. Very nice. Sit out before the 28,000 share iceberg. So I'm assuming that's at 220. Yeah, 35K right now on the ask. I mean, hey guys, I'm not just going to ask because there are times where I honestly miss out on one or two stocks that pop like during this meeting, and you guys, back me up greatly here. But let me know if there's anything else. But really, we got a great list: GameStop, VVPR, even the auto stock just before that was still near the highs. UAVS obviously, and Kirkland too. Really nice list going into this close. I'll tell you from class back on Friday, phase 2, lesson 4. For anyone tuning in on social media, we ended up following the afternoon watch list on Friday into the close. Man, we nailed it. I mean, like most of the stocks that we just even put on the list presented great opportunity. It wasn't just like one or two and that was it, but a good amount of them. So hopefully the same continues today. From Daniel, Josh, do all icebergs get filled going up? I mean, if there's an order on the ask and if enough buyers come in to, fill it, then that order will show up on time in sales and it'll be filled. So, with that in mind, you would hope to see the stock move up from that price, Daniel, but we talk a lot about that more in class and coaching and so forth otherwise. All right. Neil saying AUVI. I saw Jerry mention that, and in our chat board inside the trading room, saying AUVI new IPO kills pathogens with ultraviolet light. Neil, he ended up picking up pretty some good coin on the trade. He picked up 48 cents on 3 trades, and then on 2 separate other trades, a total of 66 cents. Excellent, Neil. Very nice job. New IPO. Listen, it is halted on the way down. It's currently halted. So I was going to say the order book is so empty, but that's because it's halted. I would say otherwise, though, it is moving up pretty nicely. Just make sure that it's not too big of a spread. I don't mind putting this on our watch list. New IPO, it's trading 4.5 million shares today. Seems like it's moving up really well, obviously, looking at the chart. So I'll put this on our list. Just hopefully the spread's, somewhat contained. And then I guess lastly, right, speaking of IPOs, RKT. It looks pretty slow right now in a tighter range, but it ended up making a full recovery. Dropped off from like 29.64 all the way down to 26.75, then all the way back up to 29. So this stock's pretty interesting too. I honestly don't mind just throwing this on our list at the end here. Alrighty, folks. I think that'll do it. I mean, that's a really good list right now going into this Monday afternoon. Where normally I would say, just like I had said on Friday, it's the end of the summer. It's our last full week before Labor Day. And yeah, I mean, otherwise, just Mondays and Fridays, not a whole lot comes out news-wise. So, we did surprisingly well Friday afternoon. Hopefully we do just as well this afternoon. If there isn't anything, though, that looks up to par after this meeting, if there's nothing that really comes to fruition, don't force it out there, guys. Don't, waste any, profit that you ended up making across the day on something that's just not worth it. All right, guys. So hopefully we have a great afternoon lined up. I'll take us going into the close, myself and Fausto, into the trading room, that is. All right, folks. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.